name is Alex.
And I'm Jimmy. Today we're going to discuss how to use the quadratic formula.
We'll be finding the solutions to 3 different examples.
First, let's define the quadratic formula and some variables.
The quadratic formula only works for a quadratic equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. When that is the case, the following formula results. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is the quadratic formula.
Let's try one with actual numbers now.
First, let's define our variables. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, and c is equal to negative 4. Substituting these values into the quadratic formula gives us the following. Next, multiply inside the radical. Third, add inside the radical. Since there is nothing left to simplify, we have our answer.
Very nice. Now let's see what happens with this example.
Again, let's define our variables. First, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to negative 10. Substituting these values into the quadratic formula gives us the following. Next, multiply inside the radical. Third, add inside the radical. Since we can reduce the radical, we will do so. Now we will add in the numerator to find our first answer and subtract to find our second answer. Finally, reduce by dividing for our simplified answer.
I love it when they work out like that. Let's look at one more.
It would seem as though we are missing a value, but this is still a quadratic equation. Here, a is equal to 1 and c is equal to negative 5. But our b in this case is missing. We simply assign b the value of 0. Substituting these values into the quadratic formula gives us the following. Next, multiply inside the radical. Third, add inside the radical, since we can reduce the radical and will do so. Finally, reduce by dividing for our simplified answer.
Join us next time as we explore examples involving imaginary numbers.
See you later.